And you can pretty much do it
Felger and Maz.
in perpetuity.
Yep. The Sports Hub.
Maxey drives in the paint, scoops a wild shot, no good. Late foul call is going to give Maxey free throws.
Oh, my goodness. Don't bail him out. Oh, don't bail him out with a cheat.
And it's the fifth on Keita.
Let's see where the foul is, see if we see it. Keita hit him on the arm.
He got him on the arm. The Celtics are going to challenge, but they're going to lose. Keita got him on the arm.
They definitely did. Oh, thank goodness.
Celtics will challenge, but the crowd's going to be disappointed here. At the scores table was that there were people on the Celtics bench saying that they did not challenge. Yeah. But obviously, James Capers said they did challenge. The challenge was unsuccessful. Fans here lost their mind, but as we said before going to break, Keita absolutely fouled. So Maxey will get free throws here to try to put Philadelphia up by 3, and you now have 5 fouls on Keita, who has been one of the stars of Game 7 for the Celtics.
I don't know if that was the most important play of the game, but symbolic, Maz and Murray, of a coaching staff and a team where the wheels are off. It's just, he throws all that crap against the wall in that starting lineup, and it blows up in his face. He puts the starters back in, and they get the bulk of the minutes down the stretch, and they can't put it in the ocean. The challenge thing, they get it wrong. They decide to challenge because they didn't see the right replay in time, where Keita clearly got Maxey across the top of the arm. Maybe a little late, but clear as day. They weren't going to win that challenge. They realize it after the green light goes on. They try and claw it back. The ref won't let them do it. And it just, I think Maz was symbolic of a team where the wheels are freaking off.
Well, that didn't seem dialed into you, Mike?
No.
One assistant coach, head down, laptop, probably playing Angry Birds, tells Joe Mazzulla, you should challenge that on the foul on Maxey. And then the one coach, different assistant coach who's paying attention says, don't challenge, but it's too late. And then you have the head coach, Joe Mazzulla, who's heads up his ass, apparently saying to the ref, no, I just wanted the timeout. I didn't want to challenge that there. So he looks like a fool. Just, again, kind of a microcosm of just what they are as an operation. That was such a mess and embarrassing.
Yeah, out to lunch. It was so obvious. They're all over the place. Like, see, you wonder, like, what happened to you guys? Did you guys go out drinking before the game, or what the hell? Seriously, what the hell happened? They were loopy. They were all loopy. The whole thing was effed up from the very beginning on Saturday night.
All over the place. And why, just to reset one thought for the 4 o'clock hour, it's not just Joe Mazzulla. It's that basketball department. And I don't mean Brad Stevens, who I think has done a really good job with the personnel on this team. Excellent. I think he's an excellent personnel guy and a team builder. But part of that team building is the coach. And part of that team building is the coaching staff. Part of that team building is the basketball department, however you would categorize that or classify that. The analytics department, the basketball people. Joe Mazzulla isn't making these decisions in a vacuum. Certainly on the challenges, that's not his purview. He gets the nod from someone deep down the bench, whether to do it or not. And I'm sure the starting lineup wasn't him in a vacuum. And Cerrone said he did it just to spite the media. I don't know. It's a fun thing to think about. My sense is that it was analytically driven as much as anything, or the whole department. So that whole thing needs a complete redo because they play the game the wrong way. It's costing you championships, multiple. So there's 2 issues here, and one is that just you play the wrong way, and you have for a while. And you got lucky to win that championship that everyone got hurt and no one challenged you. Every time you've been challenged since you've come of age, if you will, and call it that finals year against the Warriors, every time you faced a team that was tougher and pushed back, you wilted. And that's happened every year but that one year where everyone was hurt on the opposing team. You never faced anything higher than like a 4 seed or a 5 seed. We all know that run. You never played more than 5 games in a series. And outside of that, every time someone's pushed back, you've wilted. And it's because you play the wrong way, and the makeup of the team, there's something not right about it. And I would include the stars, who I'm not getting rid of, but Jaylen Brown carrying on in the last 24 hours about how he loved this year and how much they showed this year and how much they wish they played like yesterday more throughout the season and trusted that. Now, those are some problematic comments. I am sorry. There's something not right about that. So anyway.
But yeah, the failure is it's a combination of the organization thinking that every player is a three-point shooter and their star players being soft, or in Brown's case, selfish. Again, that stream thing, we'll get to it in a bit, is just, I think, such a terrible look. But they insist, and it's a league-wide thing too, or at least in parts of the league, their analytics department insists shooting more threes instead of taking 2-point shots inside the arc is the right approach because they look at it over the course of a season. And the mathematical models will show they have whatever a percentage of a statistical advantage, but they get to the playoffs, it changes. Better defense, teams are digging a little bit more, and the math doesn't work. It's laptop leadership is what it is, and it's failed them time and time and time again. It looks the same every time that they've failed. It's just fill in the blank of what team that they end up losing to that isn't as talented as the Celtics team.
It's killing them. To your calls, David in Rhode Island. Go ahead, David.
Hi, thank you for taking my call. I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller. On Tatum's injury, I'm a huge hockey fan, so I'm going to give it to you from there. Pro hockey players with day-to-day injuries don't miss important games. In fact, guys in the beer league that I played in as a goalie didn't miss games. As a goalie, it's all about overall defense, not just the goalie. I'm a passive Celtics fan. If three-point percentage is so important, right? Such a great stat. What are other teams that are in the playoffs currently using? I mean, are they winning at a high rate with that?
No, and I'm going to cut you off. 3-point attempt rate. Joe Mazzulla is on record as saying it's the most important stat in basketball. He said that as a rookie head coach. They've told him not to say stuff like that anymore, so he doesn't say stuff like that anymore, but that's what he believes. 3-point attempt rate, even though the facts don't really back it up, meaning the high-volume three-point shooting teams typically don't win, typically. And certainly no one has won shooting at the rate the Celtics shoot it at. That is a fact. There have been some high-rate shooting three-point teams that have won at Golden State, most notably. But they're really kind of the only one.
Yeah, they're an outlier because of who they had. They're two of the greatest shooters in the history of the sport.
But
and even then, I'm sorry, Murray, they never shot more threes than twos. And I'm talking about over a large sample. They never shot more threes and twos in a season, or they never shot more threes and twos in a playoff year where they won the championship. The Celtics, this playoffs, just shot more threes and twos. You do not win championships shooting more threes than twos, not even the Warriors. So the Celtics have taken it way too far. Sorry, Murray.
Out of the 11 teams that made the most three-point attempts this year, they're all eliminated but one, Cleveland, who just went 7 with suckbag Toronto.
Right, exactly. They barely squeak by. And like that to me is, the 3-point addiction that the freaking Celtics have is caused them all kinds of problems.
They just have it wrong. And they've had it wrong for a while. And it's amazing to me. I mean, I get the media playing along and the fans not pushing back and you just letting them do it. But there's not smarter. I thought Stevens was smarter than that. And I don't think Stevens, Mazzulla is limited. One of the reasons Mazzulla is so limited is because he's so stubborn and not open to new ideas, and he's not open to admitting he's wrong. Fake tough guy. He's just one of those guys. Always has to be right, won't admit mistakes. No humility, none of that. Stevens, I thought, might be smart enough to realize what we're doing is not right, is not working. There's enough empirical evidence now of you losing to lesser opponents because you shoot yourselves out of these games. Isn't it amazing, Maz, that they haven't changed course on this yet?
Yes, and again, this is the part where I can't leave Stevens out of the discussion. He's the head of basketball operations. He runs the whole basketball operation. At some point, you have to step in and say, hey, what the hell are we doing here? Mike, I remember years ago, you mentioned a stat earlier at the beginning of the show where you said the only other team that shot more threes than twos was Houston, right, yep. under Mike D'Antoni. When Mike D'Antoni was the head coach of the Rockets and then the Knicks, when he was the head coach, I remember people in the Celtics organization at that time privately mocking the way his teams played. They mocked them. And now, all of a sudden, they're doing the same crap, and they want us to believe it, and no one steps in the way?
It's crazy.
Like, that part I do put on Stevens, and I think he's a tremendous team builder, great eye for talent, knows how to put a roster together. I believe all of that, too. But if you're going to play this way, it's on you, too. What the hell?
Max in the truck, what the hell?
What the hell? What's up, guys? So, Joe Mazzulla, I got a question for you guys. Why is he still the coach of the Celtics? He should have been fired. They were up 3-1. They should win that series against the Sixers. All they do is shoot threes. What does he do in a timeout? Oh, all right, well, just get open for a three and just jack it up. Like, I just don't understand. Like you guys were just saying, if it's not working, change it up. Go strong to the hole. Cut to the basket. Do something else. Instead of just jacking up threes. As a Celtics fan, watching that game Saturday night was so freaking frustrating. Watching them just throw up three after three after three. It's like, change it up.
Let me tell you, I don't think there's any shot he gets fired.
Me neither.
I think the new owner is just got here and doesn't know what he doesn't know. I don't feel like he's like someone's going to come in and do something like that. His treatment of Mazzulla is fawning. And also, Maz, don't you think the Celtics sort of want to prove that they're better than your average NBA team, and we're not just going to rifle through coaches like all these? We're something different. We're the Celtics. We don't do that.
Yes. Yeah. No. They're elitist.
So I think you're stuck with this coach, this overmatched coach, and I don't know if you're stuck with the harebrained play style though. I can't believe that they're just going to go forward with this and keep playing the way that they're playing. I can't. But then again, I never thought they'd do this again. They lost to another bum team,
a play-in team, Mike.
Another bum-ass team playing the exact same way. Didn't we all think they were smarter than that?
Yeah.
Mike, a year ago, I said to you that Stevens will get to him. Stevens will rein him in. And for a while there, I thought he did. After that game this year, who's that?
Utah, beginning of November.
Yeah.
50 attempts.
After that, all of a sudden, the threes went down, and I thought, okay, Stevens finally called him in and said, Joe, you've gone too far. Okay, slow down, bring it back. And they started to play better. And so, okay, like I thought, but now this is why I say Stevens is as accountable as anyone else over there. This is just stupid. They take themselves out of games. They really do.
Sorry. Back to your calls, folks, right after these words. Whee! Goalie fight.
Felger.
Whee! Look at the goalie fight.
Whoa.
Maz.
Oh, my God.
Murray.
He sucks in the playoffs.
That's great. No.
98.5.
Wonderful. Good.
The Sports Hub.
If you're going to call a push-off, call that. Same move. Same refs. Oh, it's nothing? It's a play on, right? It's weird activity. You're going to call me, right? And it's right here, right in front of you. Same move. Everybody does it. It's the same move, but this is a three-point play. He makes a three right here. If it would have been me, it would have been an offensive foul. And then people saying that I'm stiff-arming, I'm Mark Henry stiff-arming people out here, whatever y'all be saying. Like, every good basketball player does this. What are y'all talking about? They clearly had an agenda. They clearly had on the red board, if Jaylen does this move, call the offensive foul on him every time. I don't know, it's because I pissed the refs off. I've been critical about them, and I called them out a bunch of times. They were like, you know what, I got you in the playoffs. Watch this. And that's exactly what they did. And when you're in the middle of the series, I don't got time to say that because that's a distraction. I'm trying to focus. But now that's over, some bullshit. I've been doing that all regular season. Everybody's been doing it all regular season. You're gonna call that on me every time. And y'all don't see it like it's an agenda. It's clearly an agenda. Look at the same move.
Really, I think, just embarrassing comments from Jaylen Brown. It's just he's doing a stream, like a stream chat or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Jaylen's been doing Twitch streams for the entire regular season since October. So he just did another one with his fans last night.
And the music is, Murray, you said, or I'm sorry, Stu said what?
I don't know what it is.
I believe it's Minecraft music, but I'm not sure. Like Twitch streams tend to be for gamers, so maybe that's just like background music for him.
It makes me want to stick my head in a vat of acid.
Is he wrong though?
Whatever. Okay, is he wrong? Yes, he's wrong. He was showing a clip. Was it Paul George that he was? So he was showing a clip of a Sixers player, kind of fending off a Celtics. I think it was Hauser on a sort of step back three where he led with his arm and then stepped back and hit a three. Was that Paul George? It doesn't matter, but he was showing a Sixers player with that move, and what he was saying is, see, they do it too. They do it too. They don't get called on it. And I'm sorry, I think Jaylen Brown with that forearm goes in with much more force than the Sixers player that he's showing. And is what I like about Jaylen Brown's game. He goes in hard, and he's physical. But that forearm, I think the way Jaylen Brown fends off with that forearm is just freaking obvious. And it was with way too much force. And is pretty much rightfully called every time. I think Brown gets away with it more than he probably should, actually. So, but the point is, whether he should get that call or not is not the point. The point is, dude, you just went over in the final however many minutes of a game to gag a foot. You're one and done. You just lost. And you had at least two, if not more, really quality, wide open looks to win that game, and you missed. And you're going to go back to the fouls? Oh, God, it's just so them. It's so Celtic.
Leave the bitching about refs to fans and people like me that say they want them jailed. And there's the agenda. The agenda was they couldn't make shots. The agenda was for like 2 minutes, that game was 99-98, and the Sixers were doing everything in their power to gag it away and say, here, take it. And instead, Jaylen Brown's clanging away, not seeing Neemias Queta in the paint. Instead, kicks it out to Peyton Pritchard, clangs a three. And it's the stupid way that they play. The agenda is the fact that they don't switch up the way that they play. That's the agenda he should be talking about.
It's a loser move. It is. It's a loser move to bitch about the officiating. And, excuse me, to Murray's point, Mike, you went over that sequence where they got 3 good looks.
Oh, yeah.
3 good looks in a row. 2 of them were 3-pointers, and they, on one of them, Pritchard could have stepped in from the line. He didn't. They missed them all.
Well, and the one that Murray's talking about, instead of kicking out to the open 3, you could have kicked it inside to Cato for maybe a dunk. And they're just not taught to do that. They are.
And to your point, saying that, Mike, so I don't know if you saw this clip too. Apparently, Brown, I saw it said in this stream, because they replayed that and people were asking him about it, rightfully so. And he said, I would do that same thing 100 times out of 100. I would still kick it to Pritchard, which is like, what are we doing?
Stupid. They're stupid. And it's this dumbass philosophy that Mazzulla espouses and what they believe in an organization, and it's wrong. They have it wrong. And as long as they keep doing that, they're not going to win. Unless, again, a miracle happens like a couple years ago where every single team they face gets hurt. And they end up playing just a bunch of 7 and 5 and 4 seeds with their best players on the injured list. That's it. Otherwise, that's not anyone offers any real pushback. That philosophy is not going to win, Maz. No, listen,
you be preaching to the choir. I'm not putting up a fight on this. I think the way they play is stupid. Absolutely colossally stupid. They were within a point 4 times in the fourth quarter. 4 times. And they couldn't get a bucket on any occasion to get in front and get the lead. And I'm also a believer in the idea that there is a psychological thing there about when you get in front, the other team sort of says, "Well, no, they got us now. They caught us," is what I mean. Our lead is gone. It's officially gone. And they just kept doing the same things. They took more 3s than 2s in the fourth quarter.
And then on top of it all, Jaylen Brown, again, continuing to go on after the game about how this was one of his most fun years playing basketball. This is, again, right after they got bounced, 1 and done. As a heavy favorite, just gagged away a 3-1 series lead. I talk about how much fun he had playing basketball this year and how much he actually liked the way that they played last night. He said, I wish we played that style and trusted that style more. Even throughout the playoffs, even through wins and through losses. Obviously, it's not always the easiest decision, but I wish that style for our team was how we empowered the rest of our group. And you saw tonight how everybody came out and played their tail off. I wish we trusted that more. Like, he liked the way they played last night. They lost. And it just sort of goes to show. It's like he likes it better when this is, again, him just telling you. Tatum was on the bench. We played more young guys. We showed more hustle. It went through me, and he likes that. And he wants that. And he's not as happy with the other thing. And certainly these guys have made it work over the years, Maz. They've made it work.
Yeah, their business relationship, I think, is just fine. But you can't tell me he's not selfish and jealous and doesn't want to be the guy. I don't think he likes being the second fiddle to Tatum. Doesn't mean they can't be buddies and make it work on the floor. They do.
He doesn't like the analytic stuff either. He says, one of my most fun years playing basketball, it wasn't always perfect. It wasn't always analytically or aesthetically pleasing, but we won a lot of basketball games, and people could see the grit and the fight that we played with every single night, and tonight was an example of that. We left it all out there. Does he realize they lost? We played 5 small guys. We played a rookie. We played whatever, and we scrapped all the way to the end. Just came up a few plays short. Like, he's carrying on about, like, last night in that style and that group was a success. That is insane to me. It's so tone deaf. My God. What a loser, loser's lament. I don't think he's a loser, but he sounds like one there.
I mean, for how people care about sports and these teams in this city, to say this is a guy that's won a title, was the finals MVP in that title year, made another NBA final and played pretty well in it, conference finals 5 times, and he's saying his favorite year is the one where they gag a 3-1 lead for the first time in franchise history?
It's unbelievable.
Are you kidding me?
Well, but that just, okay, so, but the undercurrent there is he wants to be his own guy on his own team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
So
it's just
go to
clear.
Chicago and enjoy the Bulls then, or Sacramento, or wherever.
I'll take him in Milwaukee. You can have Giannis for Brown. I'll do that. I'll do that yesterday. That's a win for the Bucks. But, I mean, that's just the undercurrent. So why do they keep coming up short? Play style's number one. And they do lack a toughness. When they get pushed, they tend to wilt. But is part of it just, I don't know, at the very, very end of the day, Brown is not happy with his role. He wants more. And does that just sort of come through somehow? Does that show up on some level at some point, and it's preventing them from being as good as they can be?
Well, Mike, he's played 2 Game 7s now, basically without a healthy Jason Tatum on the floor.
Right.
Okay, and he's failed in both of them. So I think that he gets exposed in these. Remember, he won the Finals MVP, but he won it with Tatum on the floor.
Right.
And so that's all about, Tatum getting the harder matchup in the double teams, and then Brown is left to go one-on-one. From a team standpoint, it works. But if Brown thinks that he's got to be that lead guy and he should be the ones dealing with the double teams, there's mounting evidence now that he can't do it.
Okay, I promise. Your calls right after Big Jim Murray gets you updated. Sean and Lawrence. Go, Sean.
You keep saying, I didn't actually watch the game, whether it's Patriots, Celtics, Bruins, whatever. Isn't your job as a talk show host to actually watch sports?
So I would say my job is to get you to listen.
That is the job.
Mission accomplished.
Take this job and shove. Felger and Maz. 98.5, the Sports Hub.
All right, let's get back to the phones. Jimmy, let's do it in a rapid-fire fashion, shall we? Let's do a lightning round.
The Lightning Round, brought to you by Blue Sky Restoration Contractors.
Indeed, if you're attending the Massachusetts Apartment Association Expo this Thursday at the Heinz Convention Center, stop by booth 505 and say hello to our guys at Blue Sky. If you manage, own, develop, or support multifamily housing in the Northeast, Blue Sky is the name to know for all your property restoration needs. So visit gobluesky.com. There's no E. Go, B-L-U-S-K-Y. GoBlueSky.com brings you the lightning round. We'll start off with Mary in Manchester. Hey, Mary, how you doing?
Hi, Mike. Hi, guys. Listen, I'm calling because I hate the Celtics. I hate watching them. I feel like they're the biggest choke artists. It reminds me of my childhood. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, and I remember the Braves going to the World Series. I don't know how many times, but they only won 1 championship. The Celtics are like that. They're lucky they won 1 championship. They're never going to win another one with this roster, with this it's not in their DNA. And I heard what you said earlier, Mike, that you wouldn't change the roster. I would split them up. I would get rid of Tatum first because I'm sick of hearing about his wingspan and his ceiling. He's if the conditions are wonderful or perfect, he'll win and regular season games. But when it comes time to the playoffs, when the games really matter, he's a choke artist.
Okay. They've lost Mary.
That's as agitated as
I've ever heard it.
Right.
Seriously, she sounds pissed.
I hate them, Mike.
She's right for wanting to trade Tatum, by the way.
He's a choke artist.
What was I just going to say? I think they've underachieved. I mean, they've underachieved what this group is. They have 2 of the best players in the league. They got the best duo in the league. They've had a great supporting cast. They've been a favorite for, again, the last 5 years. They've been one of the favorites in the league over the balance of those 5 years, and they've only come away with 1 championship, and it was kind of handed to them. They have underachieved in this run. Jason in Brooklyn. Go ahead, Jason.
I'm going to follow Mary's lead. This is such a detestable Celtics team. They're telling us water doesn't freeze when we all know it does. Mazzulla with his robotic responses, no emotion. How about Udoka, though, telling his team to grow up and time to look yourself in the mirror? That'll never happen with Mazzulla. No, he's never wrong. And also, guys, I am so tired with the three-point shot of people saying, it's a make-miss league. That's like saying you're pro 70 degrees and sunny. No kidding. But what about taking shots that are 8 feet from the basket or 11 feet from the basket instead of at half court? Who cares about the three-point shot? It doesn't work. I don't know how many more times we have to say it. You three have said it. All the callers are saying it. Those idiots
on Causeway Street don't know it. And I'm sorry, you're stupid if you don't change.
It doesn't work at the rate that they do it. It doesn't work at the level that they've taken it to. It doesn't work. When you look historically, the teams that have shot the three at the rate they're shooting it, it's them and the Houston Rockets, that D'Antoni Houston Rockets team. And I think there's a similar team. The Celtics broke through. The Rockets never did. But with the year the Celtics broke through, they didn't shoot it at this rate. They didn't shoot more threes than twos. So it does not work at a championship level. How about Alan in Florida on the Red Sox on the Lightning Round, brought to you by Blue Sky Restoration Contractors.
Yeah, I will tell you before I start, I take Brad Stevens to be the general manager of the Red Sox in like 2 seconds. I'll tell you, I'm glad I'm not a fan of the Cheetahs, but if you like reading going on in New York with this guy Stearns, they're crucifying him, rightfully so. This team was set up to fail. Talking about the Celtics, the Red Sox were set up to fail. This guy really, really, really doesn't have a clue how to put a team together. And how can they keep him and then make him have the decision to fire Cora?
Alan, it's a lightning. Alan, that's a lightning. I'm going to let you go. I don't think Brezzo's going to make it, Maz.
No, I don't either. I mean, not at this rate, certainly, unless there's some sort of dramatic change here in the next. He's not. I don't think he's going to get fired this year. And Stu said this before the show, just quickly. We're looking at a work stoppage next year. So, that's going to throw a wrench in timing for everything. But to me, I don't believe in pitchers running organizations. I don't.
But it's just, the Red Sox had built some nice momentum, last year. Them in the sport. The pitch clock brought the sport back to a lot of people, improved the product. The Red Sox get going. The young players come on. Some momentum. Red Sox coming back is a thing, And now between what's going to be a complete lost year and then maybe a lost, league with the lockout, it's just can't get out of their own way as a team in a sport. Andy and Taunton on the Lightning Round, brought to you by Blue Sky Restoration Contractors on the Bruins. Go ahead, Andy.
Hey, McAvoy, a complete turnstile. He's just $9 million for that guy a year. Apparently the Bruins gave up on Mason Lowry, which is good because they should. Zadorov, again, led the league in penalties, and the Bruins are the second most penalized team in the NHL. I mean, that's just undisciplined hockey, man. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Yeah, well, my thoughts are that, people giving Marco Sturm a lot of credit for, the regular season and kind of overachieving in the regular season. I'm reluctant to do it, Maz, because they never played the way he said they were going to play. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They weren't a goals against team, meaning they didn't win on the back of keeping the puck out of their net. In fact, they allowed the second most high danger scoring chances in the league, something like that. They were near the very top of the league in terms of quality scoring chances allowed. And it was just because their goaltending was so good that they remained competitive. They scored more than they thought. But Sturm said they'd be a hard team to play against. We thought they'd be from the goalie out, defense out, and they'd grind out wins and play that way. They won more than maybe we thought, but not the way they said they were going to. No, and in fact, I would say overall their defense in front of their own net has sucked for about 2 or 3 years now. Sucked. Horrible. They leave more space in front of the net. People, even at times when the opponent doesn't score, it's Swayman who stops it because guys are in there hacking away, can pretty much do whatever they want. Caveman on Causeway on the Lightning Round. Go ahead, Caveman. What do you got? Ooh.
I don't got enough time. We can talk about the stream later, but I think the way he said it was his favorite year, he proved Boston media wrong, Celtics fans wrong, and I think that people need to watch the full stream when it comes out. I was there. I was right next to him. I understood the assignment. But one more thing, Tatum and Brown are fine. That was a question that came up off stream, yo, are you all actually good? And, it was explained they're good. So this division and everything going on in Boston sports media, I think people need to chill out and stop the overreacting. What happened is they went back to 2024 ball because Tatum was coming back. That's my assumption. I didn't bring that up because I'm not stirring the pot when I'm sitting right next to JB, but, when you say sitting right next, when you say sitting right next to JB, what do you are you in the room with them, or you mean virtually? I was on stream. I don't know what that means. What do you mean? I was on stream. If you look at the clips that are coming out, I'm right there next to him. I'm the guy in the Celtics outfit. Sitting in the room?
I don't understand what he's talking. Someone's got to explain the stream business to me. I don't do this. Go ahead.
So Jaylen Brown invited a bunch of his fans who are part of his Twitch stream all year round in the chat rooms, things like that. And so this guy is claiming that he was in the actual room with Jaylen Brown.
Okay, so
and he goes by Caveman on Causeway?
Of course he does.
But when you're saying room, do you mean virtual room or shoulder to shoulder with him, physically next to him?
Shoulder with him.
Okay.
Okay, but if he's a fan, then he's a Yahoo.
Yeah, why would you take one thing that guy says seriously? He's a fanboy.
Me think Green Tribe very strong.
It's like when you, as a legit MVP candidate, and he's right, Jaylen Brown in the regular season proved himself as one of the best players in the league and what I thought could be a guy that could lead a franchise. Absolutely, and I didn't know if he was that guy. That part's true. But then you get into the playoffs. You go one and done. And you miss pretty much every big shot that you had to win that game. And then you come out and say that this is one of the most fun years I've ever had playing basketball. I'm sorry, Caveman. I'm sorry, anyone who's in the room virtually or physically. If you are a player who does that, you sound like a freaking loser. You sound like you don't get it. And so, I'm sorry. Yeah, next time you're in the room with them, you can tell them that.
Coach like wise elder. Stand there, say, shoot 3. Very stubborn. Has no plan B.
So you know what just occurred to me? I'm actually sitting in this room and I'm virtual. Half the time my mind is elsewhere. I'm a horrible attention
Celtics
span.
fans. Caveman. Grow up. The whole lot of you. Jimmy, I'm jammed up here.
Oh, it is like I'm telling you, it's Tool City.
Grow up.
Tom and Quincy is up next on the Lightning Round, brought to you by Blue Sky Restoration Contractors. Go ahead, Tom.
All right, guys. Yeah, it's a fantastic weekend. Maz, you said earlier the only race they're going to be in for is first place. They were on the race, the 4-horse race for 100 losses. And I've watched some suck teams growing up around here. I've watched this team for 47 years or so. This is the worst offensive lineup I've ever seen. They haven't lost 100 games since 1965. They are going to blow by that number. They are going to lose more games than anyone else. They're going to beat out the Giants and the Mets and the Angels for the worst record in the history of the Boston Red Sox.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
They're only a game out.
Of that pace?
Oh, yeah. They're a game out of the number 1 pick. They're a game behind the Mets for the number 1 pick.
And we are going to find something to bash every single day, Mass.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to do the suck standings.
10.5 back of the Yankees right now. Is that correct?
I believe that's right. They are. Yeah, the gap is pretty huge. I don't do division anymore. I'm doing the Red Sox for the overall. They are 10 back in New York. That is correct. That's funny.
It's just it just got to May.
People haven't even mowed their lawns yet.
Oh, they could lose the division by 40 games.
He said horse race. Just 10 seconds. Did you see the Kentucky Derby?
I did. It was great.
Incredible.
It was great.
Have you ever seen a horse? He took down 17 horses around the final turn. 17.
Unbelievable. Like, it's the kind of thing you would look at and say, that's not real. Like,
I've never seen anything like that.
No, it's the kind of thing you would see in a movie. Like, literally at the back of the pack, blowing by everybody to win the thing. It was unreal.
That was incredible. That was an incredible horse race.
It was 23-1, right? Is that what he was?
23-1.
Yeah.
Came from last place. He took, 17 horses starting in the final turn. He overtook 17 effing horses. That was incredible.
Tremendous. And then it went right into the Celtics game, and I saw them take a dump around the final turn.
Thus concludes the Lightning Round, brought to you by Blue Sky Restoration Contractors. Back with more right after this.
Felger.
Shush.
Maz. The Sports Hub.
To be asking this, what will you remember most fondly about this group and the season that they had?
I think just who they are as competitors. I think that's it. And again, listen, this isn't, when you don't win a championship for the Celtics, there's always going to be, a level of we have to do better. But at the same time, regardless of what was going on, we came in with that type of mentality. I thought we came in with the championship mentality from the beginning of the year. And I thought the guys just put their head down and went to work. And, I'm grateful that I got to coach them. A lot of times in the world today, it's an either-or society, but there's a duality to everything. And, the year we won, I felt just as empty as we did when we lost. And the duality of going after something bigger than yourself with a group of people is you're always going to have. There's two sides to every coin, and you have to, when you go after greatness, you have to accept the other side of that. And too many times, it's all about winning, but you have to surrender to the idea if you're gonna when you're going after that, you're gonna fail. And we've failed by not winning, but we stick to the process of being able to do that. But I think that's just kind of the duality of how things work. It's not an either or thing. It's both and you feel both of those things.
Poppycock. I don't know what else to call it.
I mean, seriously, I don't even understand what the hell he's talking about.
New age dribble.
I understand the concept that, that there is risk and reward. I get that. But, you felt as empty winning the championship as you did with this loss? What? How is that even possible? That's a lie. That's a lie. I'm sorry. That is a lie.
No, don't apologize. It is. It's a crock.
But it's just this new age dribble that I just, and it's drivel that he just.
Dribble works in this case too.
Yeah, whatever. He just spews it. It doesn't mean anything. You don't even know what he's really talking about. And it's just this guy. Yeah, as long as this guy is leading the way and his philosophies are the ones you're using, you're in deep trouble. You just are. The only way you're ever going to win at a high level is if it just completely breaks for you the way that it did 3 years ago, and we all know those are rare. You usually got to fight for it. That was a rare year where you didn't even have to fight for it. So if anyone's going to push you, anyone's going to truly challenge you, with the way that you play, it's not going to work. With that guy leading the way, it's not going to work. And I think maybe last year you just were willing to overlook it, but I think it's becoming clear. I mean, it was almost a carbon copy of what happened last year, happened this year. Taking your foot off the gas, losing focus with big leads at home, the ridiculous level of three-point shooting. Lesser opponent who just sort of hung in there and then got to. It's like all sort of carbon copy kind of stuff. Couldn't win clutching late. Coach never made on and on and on and on and on. And it's the same thing. Why is it going to be any different next year? Does Joe Mazzulla doesn't feel to me like a guy who's capable of growth. Because to grow, you got to realize, or you got to admit that you're wrong. Or got to admit that you make mistakes. I don't hear him doing that. I don't see him to be that kind of guy. I feel him to be, maybe a little insecure that he can't admit those things. He certainly doesn't do it with his team and the way that his team plays. So that was, listen, I mean, I felt this way about him. But I didn't need this to know this about him. And I've been telling you for a while that if they play that way, they're going to lose. I didn't think it'd come to the Sixers. But then again, I didn't think it'd come to the Knicks last year. So it just shows you. I mean, it is so wrong the way that they play. It'd be one thing if they were losing in the finals, then you can have an argument about it. You're losing to a better team. You're still winning playoff series. You're winning playoff rounds. You're beating the teams you should beat. And you get up against someone's better and you come up short and okay. But the play style, is justified. How do you justify it when you're losing to the freaking Knicks and the Sixers at home in these games? How do you do that? How do you justify it?
No, you can't.
No, because in their minds, Mike, it's luck. It's just bad luck that the shots don't go in on that particular night, and so you don't win the championship because everything is measured over the big sample. It's stupid. It's completely stupid, as if you have no power over the outcome. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing because that's what we do, and it's going to come out however the fates determine it. It's ridiculous.
But if you're turning it into a make-miss equation, that's doing it when you're better than the opponent. Why would you reduce the game to the chance of make-miss when you're better? If you just play it straight up and take it to them, you could shoot a little bit worse and you're still going to win because you're better. Because you're getting easier shots, you're getting to the line, you're playing the right way, and therefore a team can get hot from beyond the line and you're still going to win because you're better and you're just playing it straight. The only way these bummy teams like the Knicks or the Sixers or that Heat team is if you shoot yourself out of it. That's the only chance they have. And you keep doing it? It's crazy. And the coach does not get it. Jimmy, give me, and he's stubborn about it. And he's kind of a dick about it on top of it. Give me number 3, please. I'm being reliant on jump shots from last night. It's Saturday, actually.
Joe, the 4 games you lost in this series, you're below 30% from 3. Obviously, a lot of missed shots to close this game, close Game 5. Do you think you guys became too reliant on jump shots falling into this series here?
No.
And why do you feel that way?
I thought we did a great job reading the 2-on-1s, taking what the defense gave us, and in the games we lost, the other team shot over 38% from 3, and so you got to make shots. You have to be able to do that. Something we've done well, something we do well, and we just didn't. And I thought they did a good job throughout the series, later games of making them. And so, love the looks that we got, love the process that we had, but hate the result.
Okay.
It's just it's so disingenuous in that he's saying, well, it basically boils it down to the Sixers shot better than us. Meanwhile, completely ignoring the fact that their best player, Tyrese Maxey, kept slashing to the rim and going to the rim and getting points that way.
He's turning it into a make. Well, they shot 38. We got to make our shots. So he's basically saying make miss.
Yeah,
right? It's just
that's absolutely what he's saying.
So it's like he's just so numbers driven. It's just a math equation to him, which is another reason why he's limited as a coach. He's not even coaching. He's just applying a formula that's predetermined. But to turn it into the chance of make miss against a lesser opponent is so doing you such a disservice. It's not even when you're better than the opponent, it shouldn't come down to make miss. It comes down to you imposing your will, and you imposing you getting easier shots or getting to the line, and not reducing it to the chance of make or miss at the 3-point line. So you bring the Sixers and the Knicks and these teams into these series by your approach, and he doesn't get it, Maz.
No, he doesn't get it. Again, he's looking at it from purely the other thing is, well, they made 38 of them, Well, okay, but you're just saying that in a vacuum. Are you factoring in the defense that they play versus the defense that you play, where their three's better than yours? And don't just give me corner threes, with someone in their face who was shooting them. So I looked this up earlier just because, we mentioned that we want to play to guys' strengths. Garza in the regular season, you know what he shot from 3-point land?
No.
43%. You know what he shot in the playoffs? 30.8%, under 31. The numbers for Walsh, 38.4 in the regular season, 16.7 in the playoffs. Now, I would tell you, when you look at those regular season numbers, do you think Walsh is a 38% three-point shooter when you watch him play?
No. When I see the release, no.
Of course not. Any idiot would know that just by looking at it. So you put him in the playoffs in a pressure situation, and now someone's bearing down on him. What do you think he's going to shoot? And the answer is 17%, because that's what he is. He's not ready to do that, to shoot 38% in the playoffs. He's not that kind of player. So what the hell are you putting him out there for? That's just stupid, let alone starting him.
That starting lineup on top of it all. My Lord.
Unbelievable. I told you, that in and of itself, fireable offense, if you ask me. You should be fired for starting those guys in Game 7 of a playoff series. Fired.
3 players who'd never started before, in all likelihood, will never again. But, yeah, let's roll them out there for Game 7.
No points combined, 0 for 12.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Like, seriously, what genius came up with that? What genius was sitting there and said, start your suck guys. Put them in there. That'll fool them.
First trio of playoff starters to go scoreless since starters were first tracked in the 70-71 season.
Oh, Jesus.
There's your history.
And you know why it's the first time? Because no one else was stupid enough to do it.
But Jaylen Brown was happy with it. Jaylen Brown liked it. Jaylen Brown wished they'd done stuff like that more, if you can believe it. As they're sitting at home on their couch, one and done. Good grief. All right, I promise, right to your phones after Murray's 90-second update, no commercials here.